This is Coaching for Creatives. I am Aura McKay. I am a business coach and the founder of Business of Creativity. And today is all about riding the roller coaster of the gig economy. I love this expression about riding the roller coaster because for me, as a creative freelance for more than 2 decades, I am really intimately connected to the idea of the highs and lows and the ebbs and flows that happen with being a freelancer. I guess it was about probably about 15 or maybe 18 years ago when I first heard the expression of the roller coaster of a gig economy. Essentially, what it means is that there are these kind of highs when you've got a new client and a project that you love, and the work is coming in, and you're doing the work, and you're being creative, and your clients are loving you, and you're getting paid, and then the project ends. Then there's the lows of the gig economy where you haven't been paying attention to your marketing, where you don't have another project on the go, where it feels like you have a calendar or a week ahead of you that is empty and there's nothing on there. So what do you do during those times when you're in those low times? Or what can you do overall in your creative freelance business to try to even out some of those highs and lows of being in a gig economy where there's another expression that essentially is where you have to hunt to eat, where every time you want to be able to bring income in, you have to go and do this laborious thing to try to get business. You get the business, you do the business, and then, oh, business is over. And now you go out and market again. Obviously, I think you're going to see that my number one tip is to be consistent in your marketing. If you want to even out some of the dips that happen in your business where you're super stressed about your time because you're so busy you can't breathe, and then all of a sudden you're wide open and you've got nothing on your list, or you're having the experience of what is another thing? Oh, your energy, where your energy might be all used up because you're being so creative for a client, but you're ignoring the other parts of your business. The best way to make that be a lot more of an uphill climb, a rising revenue line, all those really great growth indicators is to be 100% consistent. Okay, 100% is hard. None of us are perfect. I take it back. Done is better than good. What I mean to say is to be consistently focusing on your marketing. And for some people, that might mean making a post once a week. For some people, that might mean making a social media post 5 times a week. For some people, that's sending an email once a month. For some people, that's networking. Whatever your marketing is, to do whatever you can to stay consistent and keep that marketing going, even when you're focused on a really big project or you're working on something that seems to be taking up a lot of your time and energy. This is where tools like automation can come in or outsourcing can come in really handy. So, number one tip to be able to even out the roller coaster is consistent marketing. Number two tip for evening out that gig economy roller coaster is predictable income. So, folks, predictable income is not the same thing as predictable revenue. Predictable revenue would be amazing. That's when we have the same amount of sales coming in over and over again every single month. And it is possible to get recurring monthly revenue or consistent revenue coming in by adjusting your sales model or your offer model or your revenue collection model. But what we're talking about here is your actual income, the dollars in your pocket. The most disruptive thing about working in that gig economy when we are going from those highs and lows is how much it impacts our personal lives, how much stress it adds to our personal lives, how much it impacts our ability to do things with our money, to be able to pay our bills, to go on vacation, to do any of those kinds of things. So, absolutely being able to even out that impact so that the financial impact isn't causing us so much stress and uncertainty in our personal lives. The number one way to do that is through creating a system for paying yourself consistently from your business. I do have a really great download on how to set yourself up for predictable income in your business, even if you don't have predictable revenue yet. Easing some of the sting of being in a gig economy by creating personal income that you can count on so that you can make plans for your future. You can go on vacations. You can know that you're going to be able to pay your bills and remove some of that stress is incredibly valuable in terms of being successful and being able to be a freelancer for a long time. My third tool that I would offer you is great planning. One of the reasons why having a gig economy and being a freelancer and riding this roller coaster is disruptive is because it feels like everything is coming at us all at once or there's nothing there at all. How do we set up consistent marketing? How do we set up predictable income? How do we manage our own feelings and emotions when there's nothing on the calendar or when we're so flat out that we can't even tie our shoes? Doing great planning and great time and mindset management is the number one way that I know to stay sane as a creative freelancer. Being able to plan out and schedule out when you're going to tackle certain tasks will help you avoid working 20 hours a day for 5 days in a row and then crashing and not having anything at all. It'll help you ease out your production schedule so that things are doable in a timely manner, and it would create more consistency. Knowing how to set your own time boundaries and your energy boundaries is the first start to being able to do great planning. Having really clear goals is another great tool to be able to do great planning. And I've talked about planning before in terms of using things like the Eisenhower matrix and Stephen Covey's quadrants to be able to help you to prioritize what it is you need to focus on. Those are my top 3 tips for how to navigate the gig economy as a creative freelancer. I'd love to hear from you in terms of what are your actual challenges in this idea of having projects that start and then finish and start and then finish. What is your best solution? How do you stay sane and stay profitable in a gig economy? I'd love to hear from you. Share it in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Aura McKay. This has been Coaching for Creatives, and we'll see you here next time.